All right, fellas, like the video and subscribe to my channel. I got videos coming out every day. Follow me on TikTok at Tom Smoke Fitness. Real quick, shout out to Wraith Razai. He's doing big things in the body game space. Check him out and give him a sub. Shout out to Banger. He was checking me out on my workout last night, and he's up in Toronto and he's into running. Check him out. Give him a sub. All right, let's get into it. You know, body game, it proves that you have a high degree of accountability. You get stuff done. Accountability to show up and do the work that needs to be done. Accountability for your actions. If you don't eat the right things and do the right exercises or don't put in the work, you don't get the results. If you fail to meet the expectations, that you fail to achieve what you set out to do. So now accountability, it shows a certain level of maturity and it shows a certain level of responsibility. Now, accountability is a grown-up word for responsibility. It's like a variety of responsibility, because certainly if you take responsibility for your actions, that's also accountability, right? So being on body game, it means that you've taken account of your current or your past state, whether that's physical, mental, financial, whatever, and you've taken the necessary actions to change that. So you're putting in the work, you're putting in the time, and you've set realistic expectations to achieve those, and you're not just wishful thinking and having pipe dreams and just unrealistic expectations. Now, when you're on body game, it also means that you've taken actions necessary to transform your old self into a better version. So you're leveling up and you're improving yourself, and that by itself is showing to the world that you care and you're putting in the work, and that you're cultivating the things around you, because the way you treat yourself is how you treat everything. So it starts from respect of yourself and treating yourself with love and care, and that's going to go outward to other things. You have elevated your mindset to rise above petty things like minor aches and pains, people talking down to you, people making comments about your weight, like just ridiculous things. And you've ascended above that, and you've realized that there's a lot of things that don't matter. You can't control a lot of things. So you focus on what you can control and what matters, and you lock in. You're accountable. You can have expectations to show up, to be there, to have ABC all the way through XYZ done. Accountable. You clock in every day at your job. You're accountable. They expect you to be there. If you're not there, they're probably going to call the cops because they think something's up. You might have been kidnapped. So the same thing on body game. If you don't go to the gym, something's up. Something's wrong. Like if your leg's broke, you ain't going. If you got a cold, you're going. If you're hungry, you're going. If you're tired, you're going. If you got a headache, you're going. It doesn't matter. If you're not dying, you're going. You're responsible. You're accountable. You have to put in the work to get out the results. And every time you fail to put in the results or fail to put in the work, you fail to get out the results. And we're not about that, right? When you're on body game, your accountability is on a whole nother level, right? You got your food on point. You got your exercise on point. You got your steps on point. You've got your stress management on point, your sleep on point. Everything, all the boxes are checked. So if something happens and you have to pivot, you have a backup plan ready to go. Like you go to work, the microwave's busted. So what? You can't microwave your food. You can eat it cold. Or Just there's a lot of things. You get stressed at work instead of getting drunk after work, or going and eating a bunch of candy, or just binge watching a show and eating Ben and Jerry's. You go put in some work at the gym, or you have some breathing exercises or something that helps you deal with the stress. So that there's coping skills that come with the body game, and it puts your mindset on a whole another level. Like, even for stuff like drugs and alcohol, if you used to have problems with drugs and alcohol and you were just off the deep end, and you've come back to being normal, and you get stressed out, you're on body game, you recall what it was like before. You recall that alcohol isn't going to help you out. Those drugs aren't going to help you out. That binge eating food isn't going to make you feel any better. If anything, it's going to make you feel worse, because that's not who you are anymore. That's not where you align with your belief system anymore. You don't even hang out with those people anymore. But, on the flip flop, if you're at an event with family, and they're drinking or they're smoking or doing whatever, you don't partake with that. You can still stand there and enjoy company and let them know, like, yo, I don't do that. They're not gonna, poo poo on you or think that you're like a snob. You just gotta let them know, like, look, I'm trying to be healthy. I don't do that. Like, it's not a judgment on anybody that's doing it. I just don't do it. So what? Let's move on, talk about something else. That's part of the coping skills. That's part of the perseverance, being able to say no, and understanding that no is a powerful word. And when you're on body game and you look like you do, people will respect you when you say no, and they won't try to pressure you. Peer pressure is something for weak people. When you're on body game, you do not give in to peer pressure. It's like 101 body game. Unless your peer pressure is going to the gym and eating good, eating clean, and maybe that's good peer pressure. But your accountability is super high. It's visible when you're on body game. Somebody can ask you to get the job done, and they don't even have to worry how you're going to get it done. They just know that they can ask you and you're reliable. They can count on you. You're accountable. Your body is the proof you get the job done. But I'm telling you, fellas, I'm telling you, body game will change your life. You will develop skills and traits that will keep you honest and true to yourself, because you don't want to be the fat guy. You don't want to be the couch potato dad. You don't want to be the guy who is just the funny drunk. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have that reputation for being sloppy. You want to have that reputation for being nice and neat and crispy. You know, when you're on body game, you feel different. You feel better. You don't feel the need to indulge in the alcohol and the candy and the other bullshit. You know about self control. You know that if you even buy it, you're going to consume it. So you make that mental choice to avoid going to buy it. Like, you can't buy liquor if you don't go to the liquor store. If you're in the grocery store and you walk around the alcohol aisle, you can't get alcohol. You walk around the candy aisle, walk around the chip aisle. There's ways to avoid it. And if you're on body game, you're already playing that game. You've already got your strategy. When you walk into the store, you have a list. Like, everything is on point. You're accountable. You've got a plan. And that's just one factor of many for the body game. So I'm telling you, fellas, you need to get on the body game. You're at a party full of drunk people. They're going to want a designated driver. Who do you think the hot girls are going to go look for when they want to ride home? And you're that guy. Come on now. Come on now, playa. Get on body game. I'm in my 40s. I'm already married. But it's a treat for my wife to see a man looking nice every day of the week. She doesn't have to go look at some other dude. She can look at me whenever she wants to. I am the fantasy. in reality, in real life. And you could be that guy. Trust me, it's very rare for the designated driver to be at the party. Usually everybody's just drunk. You know what I'm saying? But isn't it smarter and more rational and more responsible to be the sober person instead of, say, going to a family get together and then getting drunk with everybody and then driving yourself home drunk, or you and your family or friends drunk? Come on now. But if you're on Body Game and you're in there eating, some snacks, this and that, drinking water, seltzer, diet sodas, whatever, just enjoying the company of people, that's going to put you on a whole nother level than if you're just standing around getting drunk, chit chatting about the football game, getting more drunk to where by the end of the night, you don't even know where the fuck you're at. That doesn't sound like fun at all. At all. So you're going to be avoiding stuff like that when you're on Body Game. You're going to be making smarter food choices, smarter life choices in general. And it's going to benefit you in the long run, fellas, because all of these things coalesce as part of the framework in Body Game. The responsibility, the discipline, the accountability, the respect, the courage, the awareness, the intelligence, the wisdom, like everything factors into Body Game because it's about mental, spiritual, emotional well-being to be the best person that you can be for yourself, because nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody cares if you're in shape. Nobody cares if you're fat, skinny, old, young, white, black. Nobody knows you. Nobody cares about you but you. So it's incumbent that you take care of yourself and make yourself a priority. Because just like in the airplane, the oxygen crashes, the oxygen masks come down. You got to save yourself before you can save somebody else. You're a liability until you put that mask on. And Body Game is that mask. It will save you. It will put that oxygen into your life and breathe new life into a stagnant existence. If you're wasting away playing video games, beating your meat, watching TV and Netflix, eating food stuff in your face, ordering DoorDash, pick up an exercise program, go to the gym or whatever. I would recommend the P90X3 30-minute workout or the P90X. You can just try it, try something and work out and get on Body Game. Start watching your diet, count your calories, and get lean. It might take you a while, but just do your best and keep going in a forward direction. And even if you have some stumbling blocks, some hurdles, some back steps, don't give up. Don't be discouraged. Just pick yourself back up and keep going forward, because it's not about what happens every day, so to speak. It's about what a combination of days can accumulate to lead to in a set of time. So whether that's a month, 6 months, a year, whatever. I've been on my journey for 3 years and I'm just now getting to where I'm close to shredded. And I really haven't dieted super hard, for a long, long time, but I've been in and out of diets over the course of the last 24 months, and I'm I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good, and I think a lot of people can get to my level, but it just takes a certain level of accountability. So, prove it to yourself, prove it to the world that you have what it takes to lose the body fat, to save your own life before the doctor tells you to. Men over 40, we ain't got a lot of time left. You got to make a change today. Get on Body Game, get healthy, get lean, live as long as you can, and it ain't even really about living a long time to be old. But what if, in 30 years, you can't even walk because you're not exercising? You're going to be regretting it for another 20 years after that. And they might not have robot legs in 2060. They might. But are you going to take that chance? You want to roll that dice? Invest in yourself now and get that health savings account up so you can cash that check later on when it really matters. Get on Body Game. Take care of yourself, fellas. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Later.